Who's on first? The Let's Get To Local 9, brought to you by Zoomer Sport.
So we're excited to be joined again by the voice of the Bowling Green Hot Rods, Shawn Mornin, along with Elias. How's it going, man?
We're great. It's off-season mode, and Daddy Daycare is in its third day, and he's not doing well by himself. So we are. This is a joint interview now.
Well, I love it. You know, we got to add some gravitas to the show anyway. You get the host in a pumpkin suit. Hey, so a lot has happened since we last saw you guys, and this episode's really dedicated to the amazing time we had. But let's talk about the championship, man. How was that? Just sitting in the booth and getting to call that?
That was crazy. I mean, that was one of the craziest things that I've seen. Obviously, it's a little bit different because you're not going through 3 or 4 rounds of postseason play.
Yeah.
And you get the 5-game championship series, and it was really weird because the team had only lost 14 games at home during the regular season, and here you are, you split the road series, and then Greensboro comes back and wins the first game at home, which I guess shouldn't be a surprise because they did split the series in Bowling Green, and during the regular season, and man, that team didn't have any quit in it this year, and they went down 2-1. And they had to go back to back. They had to win 2 straight. And at the end of the season, I guess one of the things that I kept on saying was, it's going to come down to the bullpen. It's going to come down to the bullpen, and it really did. In Game 5, I didn't realize it was going to happen, but that was a bullpen game. Everybody that came in was a bullpen arm, and Jose Lopez was great, and Zach Tragan at the end of the game was great. I mean, it's great because it proved me right, but at the same time, I mean, there were, during that series, there were times where I'm going, this team hasn't had bullpen depth since, 3/4 of the way through the season. And here they were, as they like to say, shoving and, maybe right down my throat, which is not a bad thing for me.
No. And let's be honest, if a Tampa Bay team is not winning using the bullpen, does it even count? I mean, it's so on brand. Talk a little bit about that real quick, though. Just top to bottom, what a minor league system and season Tampa Bay has had this year. I mean, you guys, Durham, I mean, everybody just winning.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, like you said, top to bottom. Durham ended up winning the regular season championship, and they ended up winning the final stretch. Montgomery got to the championship and lost in 5 games. We won our championship. Charleston won their championship. The FCL Rays, I believe. So J.J. Cooper has been tracking all that stuff, but I believe the FCL Rays, the Complex League Rays, had the best win percentage in like domestic baseball.
Yeah,
so
I saw that tweet.
Their win percentage was it was like set. Yeah, and then of course I screwed it up. So then he made sure to correct me on that one, which was, I felt like an idiot on that. But I mean, it's so crazy to watch and know, Charleston just won a championship, which means that the guys that are going to be coming to Bowling Green in 2022, a decent amount of them will have already had championship experience. Yeah. So, and I mean, you look top to bottom and all the guys that are throughout the system, a lot of them, played at Bowling Green Ballpark. So even the guys that are in the postseason now for the Rays, I mean, for the DS game, so, the starters for Game 1 and Game 2 were both on the Hot Rods in 2019. So it's I don't even know if I have a word to describe, everything that we're seeing, because it's, the 2019 and before Hot Rods are just working their way through the system and winning while they're doing it, which is cool.
It's reminiscent of what the Astros did before 417, and then what the Royals did, where you could see the championships coming because it was in their minor leagues. And now, of course, Tampa Bay is positioned to, make another deep run in the playoffs. I want to get to that final call, though. Like, at what point did you start to think about, all right, I'm about to cement something, or was it natural? I mean, were you starting to get amped up for it? Like, here it comes, or were you just did you just let it flow, your final championship call?
I mean, I listen back to it and I'm like, boy, I don't think that's very good, but I hate everything that I've done. There was one point so pregame, a lot of times in our club, which you were in, the people down there are awesome to me and to everybody in the press box. And so a lot of times when we're getting ready for the game, we can go down and order our food. I promise the story's going somewhere. And So, Tasha, who's, one of the, best, I mean, everybody down there is great, but Tasha always brings the food up to the broadcast booth because, I'm super high maintenance. And our catering company is Vet City Catering. And, pregame, I'm working on my scorebook and she brought my food up to me and I like saw her polo and I was like, geez, I really missed the boat on being able to call this place the Vet City. For some reason, I've never done it. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, Corvettes are made in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And, there's a Corvette museum, which I think you guys visited. And I was just like, man, I've been here for 3 years and 2 seasons and I just missed the boat on that. Oh, well. And then I just went, I went about my business and it was game 5. So, we're the only broadcast crew there. So I'm like, regardless of what goes on tonight, I get to call a championship winning game. Like this is really cool. I have a lot of friends that have been doing this a lot longer than I have that never got there. Of course,
Yeah.
I have some friends like Emma out in Portland that has done it twice, one of which was a walk-off home run. She missed the postseason this year, but it was one of those things where I was just like, I'm not a rehearsed guy. I don't like to sit here and practice anything that I do. I like to get feedback from other people and then try and work on that as the game goes on. I don't script anything. I don't like to write. I don't have a consistent home run call. I think the only thing that I've consistently said over my career is when the team wins, I say put it in the left-hand column.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's cool.
So, the entire thing, that's probably the reason why I hate most of the stuff I do, because I don't expect anything. I just kind of say stuff. And it hasn't gotten me in trouble yet, which is good. But, I appreciate that you say that, though. I mean, it was a cool moment. I was really excited. And then, immediately as soon as it was over, I jumped up and, ran out of the broadcast booth and down to the field just so I could turn the mic over to our league supervisor. So,
yeah. I tell you what, it was fun. Jess and I watched it on the laptop. And again, had a great time out there. Now, before we let you go, we have some rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
You ready, buddy? I think so. I think we're good.
Mind clear. Okay. Hot dogs or brats?
Brats.
Superman or Batman?
Batman.
Strangest thing you've ever seen at a ballpark?
We had a drone delay in Quad Cities in 2019 with actually one of the guys that was on our team this year, Christopher Ogando, on the mound, who was absolutely crushing people. After he came back, I think we were up by a run. When we came back from the drone delay, once it finally left the stadium, like right on the Mississippi there, probably 3 to 5 pitches later, the guy at the plate hit a walk-off home run.
Wow.
That was pretty crazy, right? I also saw a cow in the stands in the stadium walking around with a bell on in Clinton, Iowa. That was weird too.
Okay. What's your favorite baseball uniform?
Ooh. I like this is it's kind of a mild cop-out answer, but the year after a team wins the World Series, when they incorporate the gold into the uniforms, yeah. I absolutely love that. I think back to when the Royals did it. That was amazing. Like, I love the look of those uniforms.
Particularly the Royals. When the Astros had it, looked weird. It didn't play right, but the Royals, that gold kind of just blended in nicely. Godfather 1 or 2?
I guess go with the original.
Okay. If you could own any team, what do you think? 1 or 2, Elias? If you could own any team that's not your favorite team, what team would it be and why?
The San Diego Padres. Right? We're going with big league teams, or are we going minor league?
Anyone, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, the Padres. I love that ballpark. I love that, the location of it. I like the area out there and everything. I mean, we got to visit that during the winter meetings a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought that was electric. I love that place.
Star Wars or Jaws?
Star Wars.
Okay. When is the first time baseball broke your heart?
So growing up, I was a Yankees fan. And in 2004, when the Red Sox came back from 3-0, that was that was a coming of age tale for me. That was not good.
So you don't watch Fever Pitch at all. You're like, Jimmy Fallon's the worst, and I don't ever want to see him.
Yeah, to this day, I'm still like anti, I won't say anti-Red Sox, but I'm like to this day, I'm still like, there's still that, like when you're a kid
Yeah.
and you just dislike something to your core, like when you see it later, even if you don't mind it, there's still that inner feeling where you're just like, I don't understand why I feel like this. Exactly. Just like that.
Just like that. Just like the New York Mets for me, man.
Yeah.
And then last rapid fire question: what is your go-to Halloween candy?
The same as my go-to regular candy. Yeah, that's good. He's only 6 months old and he knows his dad so well. It's Reese's. It's Reese's peanut butter cups. Very good.
That's perfect. So, Shawn, as we let you go, I wanted to again thank you for the hospitality and let you know that one of the things that we do at this show is we give out the Let's Get To awards, and you're going to be our broadcaster of the year. So there will be there'll be a really cool plaque sent to you shortly after the season wraps up. So congratulations, man. You did a great job this season.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great having you guys, obviously out of the I'm not just saying that because you guys, you just dumped that on me, but
yeah,
I really enjoyed having you guys out to the ballpark, and I can't wait to see this episode because I mean, honestly, like you guys, from the hot dog and the suit and everything, I mean, it was, you guys are welcome back to any ballpark I work at for the rest of eternity.
Well, I already told Jessica and I will be out there. We'll be back out next season. So I'll let you know when we're coming, and we can't wait.
Awesome.